Hey, all Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 23 of And the Oscar Goes To, my daily short videos on who I believe will win, and in some cases, who I think should win the big prize on Oscar night, which is tonight, March 2nd. The 97th Oscars are tonight. Here we are to talk about the last one. We're talking about the big one, Best Picture of the Year. And the nominees are Anora, producers Alex Coco, Samantha Quan, and Sean Baker. The Brutalist, producers Nick Gordon, Brian Young, Andrew Morrison, DJ Gugenheim, and Brady Corbet. A Complete Unknown, producers Fred Berger, James Mangold, and Alex Heineman. Conclave, producers Tessa Ross, Juliette Howell, and Michael A. Jackman. Dune Part 2, producers Mary Parent, Cale Boyter, Tanya Lapointe, and Denis Villeneuve. Emilia Pérez, producers Pascal, Caucheteux, and Jacques Audiard. I'm Still Here, producers Maria Carlota Bruno and Rodrigo Teixeira. Nickel Boys, producers Dee Gardner, Jeremy Kleiner, and Jocelyn Barnes. The Substance, producers Orly Fargiat, Tim Bevan, and Eric Fellner. And finally, Wicked, producer Mark Platt. So, let's talk about these a little bit more. It's been a year. I'm sure at this point many of you have seen all of these, so here are some quick recaps. Anora is a modern take on the Pretty Woman story of a sex worker who thinks she is in found love and a new life with a member of the Russian oligarchy. But when the news is broken, all hell will break loose as her new husband runs, and we follow a cast of characters across Brooklyn to find him and confront issues of loyalty and love. The Brutalist chronicles about 35 years of ups and downs of famed European architect Laszlo Toth as he arrives in America to start a new life, having survived World War II. He dreams of building a better life and achieving the American dream for his wife and niece, and gets some help along the way that isn't without its prices. The Complete Unknown chronicles the early life and the rise of the man who is considered the greatest songwriter of all time, Bob Dylan. As we follow Bob from his arrival into 1961 New York, we follow all the events and relationships he has from Pete Seeger to Joan Baez that bring him into the mainstream of folk music and his desire to move beyond it. Conclave gives us an intimate look behind the scenes of the papal conclave when they need to come together to elect a new pope. With no clear front-runners amongst the College of Cardinals, secrets and political beliefs will out as everyone tries to make the best decision while other hypocrisies are uncovered and debated. Dune Part 2 takes us back to Arrakis as we continue along with Paul Atreides as he fulfills his prophecy to become the leader of the Fremen. While on this journey, he seeks revenge against those who killed his family and makes difficult decisions that put what he wants and what needs to be done at the forefront while contending with some new dangers. Emilia Pérez is a look at the world through the eyes of the titular character, the transgender woman who is trying to put her life back together after her surgery by attempting to rebuild her family, as well as make amends for the actions that she took when she was a man and leading one of the most prominent drug cartels in Mexico. I'm Still Here is the biographical story of Eunice Paiva, the wife of former Brazilian Congressman Rubens Paiva. During the 1970s political coup d'etat in Brazil, Rubens is taken, and Eunice does all she can to solve this mystery while suffering various injustices and mistreatments while trying her best to keep her family together. Nickel Boys is a look at Elwood, a young gifted black man who is on his way to college when he gets arrested for allegedly stealing a car in the Jim Crow South of the 1960s. Being sentenced to the Nickel Academy Reform School, he will make friends with one other young man. They will cope as they deal with racism and abuse, trying to do their best they can to survive. The Substance looks at a fading star who, reaching a certain age in Hollywood, sees that she is no longer desired and takes extreme measures to attempt to relive some of those prime years. Taking an experimental drug allows her a do-over provided certain rules are followed. And when they aren't, well, the consequences for both will be quite severe. And finally, Wicked takes us to the land of Oz before Dorothy, as we follow the origin story of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Galinda, the Good Witch of the North. We see them as they meet as students at Shiz University and watch them grow from loathing one another to genuine care as friends as they travel to the Emerald City and see that things are not always as good as they seem to be. So, this is the big award. Very rarely, I talked about this last year, very rarely does the film that I feel should win actually does win. In fact, in the last 10 years, roughly, only 3 times did the stars align where the one that I really wanted to win and felt should win actually won, which was 2015 for Spotlight, 2019 for Parasite, and 2021 for Coda. However, this year, it might just align again for a 4th time in as many recent years. For me, the film that I believe should win is Anora. Mikey Madison gives an incredibly raw performance. It's so engaging. Sean Baker, who I believe will now also take the Best Director, a different view than I had almost 3 weeks ago, does some pretty spectacular things with this indie film. Also, I have to say, given its clout as of late, there could be an upset, and we could hear the name Conclave be announced for Best Picture. This could happen. It won't upset me. I pulled for Spotlight all those years ago. So this is the one that I think it possibly could pull an upset, but honestly, truly, for me, after this whole season, this is the winner. It should be, it will be, Anora. Here's hoping I get this one right. If you're curious about my thoughts on the film, my review for Anora is on the YouTube channel here, Season 3, Episode 37. All right, so do you agree with my pick? Do you have a different one? Let me know in those comments. I can't wait to see how many of these I call to win. Usually I get around 19 to 21 correct, save a couple of usual surprises. Everybody enjoy the Oscars and come back in a few days when I break down the ceremony and the winners. Until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and enjoy the Oscars. Take care.